just to recap for everyone watching, Rafael secured a remote closing role within 2 weeks. He's quit his job and now he's on the way to hopefully smashing it. So Rafael, thank you for joining me on this success story episode. So I guess, do you want to introduce yourself, bro?
Yeah, so my name's Rafael. I'm 22 years old. I was working, well, I've had 3+ years of sales experience, B2B, face to face, door to door, B2C as well, a little bit of that. And I've also worked in retail. Before I joined DealFlux specifically, what I was doing was working in B2B sales. I was doing, I was working at a company that specialized in business sales and acquisitions, and essentially I was cold calling business, small to medium sized business owners, essentially getting and finding out if they have ever thought about selling or buying any businesses. But yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So thank you for joining us today. To
okay.
give you guys some context, and I'm sure Rafael will break this down himself, he has actually secured a closing role through the DealFlux program. I think it took you 2 weeks. Am I right in saying that? Or is it a little bit longer?
Yeah,
Two
two.
weeks.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So within 2 weeks of joining the program, he's already been placed into a remote closing role. So he is now officially a closer. And I believe you've quit your job. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. I've just decided to put myself in a situation where I have to succeed. So yeah, I just quit my job.
Honestly, I think sometimes I'm against it, sometimes I'm not against it. But I think in your situation, I think you've genuinely done the best thing, bro. Like being
Definitely.
able to quit your job because you're on such a solid offer is such a good thing. Because when you have that pressure on your back of, not having that stability, not having that income anymore, bro, it's going to make you perform a lot better in your new role, your new closing role, which is fantastic. So I guess, do you want to? I guess before we go down into breaking the DealFlux program and how you found it, etc., we'd love to know a little bit more about you and see, for the people that are watching this, if they are in like a similar situation to what you used to be in, right? So, how long were you looking into remote closing before you joined the DealFlux program?
So in terms of how long I was looking into getting into remote sales, well, remote high ticket sales, it's been quite some time. I think ever since well, not ever since, but I think around 3 to 4 months after I joined my previous job,
Yeah.
where I was, going up to the office. I was literally just finished from uni, went to got myself employed, etc. And I was like, I feel like I can talk a lot and I can talk pretty well. So I thought, let me get into sales. Now, I got given the role. I was, quite enthusiastic into get into my new role, getting to know everyone around me, etc. But then even became the top performer in the academy. Again, back to back, and then progressed into the core team, etc. But then after me consistently performing the way that I was performing, again, averaging more than what everybody else was around me, I started realizing actually, where is my commission? Like, why am I not earning any commission? And then I started asking questions around the commission structure at the workplace. I had a base salary as well, which I was okay with, but I wasn't there for the base salary. I was there to increase my earnings. I started asking questions about the commission structure. And then I figured out it was only around 2.5%. So I was like, wait, hold on, 2.5% commission.
Mm.
And for the deals that we doing and for the amount that the prospects were paying towards the end of the sales process, it wasn't a lot. It was around 100, 150. So, and to make things worse, for me to even receive that 150, I'd have to get certain amount of deals across the line. So the commission structure was just, it wasn't even as if, it was like they've just kind of labeled it sales, but it's not really sales.
Yeah. No. Do you know what? So when people join the DealFlux program, we find two things. People are either looking for that freedom, wanting to go to places like Bali or Thailand, make 5, 10K a month. But I think with you, it actually wasn't that. It was more so the commission. And I remember the first conversation me and you had, that's one of the first things that you brought up. It was the fact that you felt in your current role,
Mhm,
which obviously wasn't remote closing,
mhm.
you just felt, I guess, capped by that commission structure. So being able to move into an industry like remote closing, where obviously the commission is pretty much uncapped, I think
Literally
that's really going to help you earn a lot more than what you're previously earning.
100%.
Fantastic. Good man. Cool. So I think you said there that you've been looking into remote closing for 3 to 4 months, haven't you, before you joined DealFlux?
Yeah.
So I guess why did you never pull the trigger or try to move into remote closing, obviously before joining us?
I mean, it was multiple different reasons, to be fair. So it's like the first one being, a lot of people I've never heard, especially in the UK, I've never heard of high ticket sales and
Yeah,
being kind of it being like not a legit thing. I never knew that there's an actual structure to how high ticket sales works. I just thought
yeah,
it was one of them kind of like get rich quick schemes
quick,
and all this other
yeah,
stuff. So I was like, I'm not too sure how I feel about it. But then it was after obviously speaking with you and Dan and Tafiq where I was like, actually, you know what? Let me just kind of bite the bullet and just kind of take the leap and just see how it goes.
yeah.
So I'd say it was more to do with the fact that number one, no one around me was doing what I was doing or what I was looking to do, and no one has ever spoken to me about high ticket sales, so I just wasn't aware.
Do you know what? That's a great point you made there. I think a lot of people who, especially like yourself, did have a corporate role before, right? Were maybe working in an office or working in Manchester, working in London.
Mhm.
They're so used to the corporate life that when you tell them that they can like make quote unquote money online,
Yeah,
it's kind of like instantly red flags to them, and everyone like knows like industries like this, well, tend to have a bad name to it. Um, so yeah, it's such a blocker in a lot of people's mind, and I think once you actually take that step, like you have, you realize that's not the case, and
literally,
actually you can get placed onto very legitimate and very solid offers as well.
100%.
So I guess, bro, before you joined Dealflux, then, like you said, and I'm going back to it again,
Mhm.
3 to 4 months, been looking into the industry. Why did you not try to get a role on your own? Why was it that you decided to join a program like Dealflux to get a role?
I mean, with when it came to deal flux, like for example, when I saw it on my Instagram, I thought, this just seems so. It just made more sense because number one, if I just thought that the amount of time that it would take for me to understand how to land myself a high ticket role, how to
Yeah,
outreach to people to get a high ticket role, how to just even land a role in of itself was going to take extra work. So I
yeah,
thought, I think it would have made it just made more sense to invest in you guys because you pretty much like you decreased the amount of time it would have taken me to land a role significantly. In 2 weeks, I managed to get myself a role with great commission.
yeah,
Where from the first day I'm able to start earning. So I think it's just because the only reason why I didn't do it myself was because of how much time it was going to take.
yeah.
Uh, but you guys obviously managed to get that and shrunk the time significantly.
Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree with that. And like,
Mm.
I think one of the perceptions a lot of people have is that they can do it themselves. And yes, although you can do it yourself,
I know.
right? It's not impossible.
Mhm.
Like you said, one, the time, it'll probably take you 6 months to probably land the role.
100%.
And two, I also think it's actually quite hard to land the role, and people don't appreciate that.
Mhm.
But when you do outreach and you try and contact people without the right frameworks and without the right strategies, it's actually extremely hard. And with other people joining the Dealflux program as well, we've had this conversation with them where they've like, I've been trying to get a role myself for a couple of months now, and I've not been able to. And that's one of the reasons, obviously, why they joined the Dealflux program, because we allow them to get a role so quickly. And I guess let's talk about that a little bit, bro. So obviously, you got placed within 2 weeks, very quickly. How did that come about?
Well, again, luckily to you guys, you kind of took a look at my experience and kind of what I had under my belt, and you know, I asked you, I asked Dan, I asked Tafiq, and you guys taught me, and I was watching the school courses, and I was doing a little bit of outreach myself, and then I saw that Tafiq actually posted a job opening on the group, so I immediately, whilst I was still at work as well, I just immediately popped up to the person that was offering the job role, and I explained to him, I was like, look, I've just paid for Deal Flux, and I'm invested in my sales training, so I'd be more than happy to join your offer and be able to sell it, etc. And then the person was actually happy to give me the opportunity to have an interview with his sales manager. Once I had that sales manager speak to me, we then kind of got it on, and then I was able to be given a chance to join the program, to join the offer.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So just to give the guys context who are watching this, Rafael has secured a role on a £3,000 ticket, and with 10% commission. I'm right in saying that, aren't I?
Yeah, 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 literally.
And there's 12 calls a day, right? So even if you close 3 calls each day, that's £900 commission, which is crazy. It's crazy. And that's 25. That's at a 25% close rate as well. So really, really solid offer there, bro. So I guess I want to talk a little bit more about the program itself. Obviously, you got a role quite quickly, so I guess you didn't get to experience the full extent of the program, but in those 2 weeks before getting a role, and obviously afterwards, because you're still, working alongside us now, you've got a role. How have you found that?
I mean, I found it honestly kind of mind blowing. Obviously, I think I mentioned it to you, but it's like I didn't know what to expect, and I
Yeah,
had a lot of questions for you when you was getting me on board, etc. But then, obviously, as soon as I got onboarded, and then I got given access to the school community and the school courses, obviously, I just started quickly understanding just how valuable this actually was, and just
yeah,
how quickly I'm able to progress. Because again, if I would just kind of well, to be fair, the speed that I was, excuse me, that was looking to get this done was quite quickly. So
yeah,
I'll just speed run through the courses,
yeah.
and kind of understand exactly what needs to be done. But overall, I think the experience at DealFlux has just been incredible. The mentorship's been incredible. Just everything.
Good, good. Do you know what it is? I remember you've not invested in anything online previously, have you,
No,
before
not
this?
at all.
No.
Not.
And I remember you telling me that on the first call that we had. And I think the way you've actually approached the program and in a way took action and you've been so proactive, I think that's credit to yourself, bro, because I think that's really helped you accelerate a lot quicker than I guess other people who aren't as proactive.
Mhm.
I guess because you haven't, and this is just more for the people watching again, like obviously, like we just said, you haven't bought anything online before, you haven't invested in yourself previously. What would you say to people who are hesitant about investing in themselves? Because that's a very common thing right out here. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, what would you say about that?
I mean, for me personally, if obviously you're watching the testimonial and you are kind of on the fence, I think, listen, you will never be able to get from point A to point B still being the same old person, like ever. So I think to make that investment in yourself, to obviously get the knowledge necessary to succeed and get to that next stage, wherever that next stage is for you, then
Yeah,
I think personally you should just take the lead and just kind of see how it goes.
100%, 100%. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much more of your time,
It's all
bro.
right, bro.
I've only got two more questions for you. So number one, what is the best part about the Deal Flux program? In your
The best part about the Deal Flux program, I'd say the community and the mentorship. That's two things,
yeah.
but I'd say those two things.
100%. And Rafael will be joining us at the Manchester meetup this month. So that is brilliant to see. Excited to meet you in real life as well, bro.
Absolutely.
Good man. And then the last question. What is your message for other people who are looking to join DealFlux?
A message for the people that are looking to join DealFlux. I promise you, you will not regret it. If you put in the work, if you know exactly what you want, you're going to succeed. It's inevitable. You've gotten all the help that you could possibly need to, number one, land yourself an offer, but number two, actually become good at high ticket sales. So there's literally nothing for you to lose. Apart,
Definitely.
go
No,
ahead.
go on. No, go on.
I would just say, apart from obviously having to sacrifice some time now to get the knowledge, there's literally nothing to lose at all.
100%, 100%. Well, thank you for all of that, bro.
So,
It's really great to see that obviously the progress that you made in such a short amount of time. And just to recap for everyone watching, Rafael secured a remote closing role within 2 weeks. He's quit his job and now he's on the way to hopefully smashing it. So hopefully smashing it. So hopefully we can do an interview, bro, in maybe 1 month's time, 2 months' time, see the progress and see how much you've been killing it, bro. But yeah, no. Well, thank you for joining us, bro. And if you guys are obviously looking to join DealFlux, then just book in a call with us.